All right, people. My nephew Struther has been asking for a part 2 about how to write a joke. And last time I spoke to you guys, I spoke about creating like a pattern, like that rhythm of threes, where like it's kind of like theater, where you let the crowd know when it's time to laugh by your cadence of your joke, your da da da, your rhythm. So like Bentley doesn't know I'm going to the post office, you know. Bentley doesn't know I'm going to FedEx, to UPS. You know, there's that rhythm of 3. So later on when I do that, a joke on the 3rd, I already have that same rhythm. So I'll repeat the rhythm, but with a different joke, and it'll normally hit. I have an example of that, but before we do that, I want to talk about how I like to start off a joke. Where that, like, the whole joke, the premise, like I spoke about earlier, is the idea that, like, Bentley doesn't understand errands, you know, like, he gets sad when I leave because he doesn't understand that, like, I do more than go for walks at the park, you know, because that's all he gets to experience are the Bentley errands. And that's a whole bit where it takes some time to explain it. So something like that, where it's not funny immediately, where it's more humorous than anything, or entertaining, I like to start with something short and funny. And an example of how I would start a joke like this one about Bentley is I'd start off by first explaining that I love dogs. I say something relatable. I love dogs, and I have a dog. I have a pit bull Ridgeback, which right away tells you, like, you get this idea of this big scary dog. But then the very next thing I tell you is that he's a 3-legged dog. So right away that takes away the scary for some people who don't like pit bulls or Ridgebacks. They're like, oh, he's just a big goober that looks like Scooby-Doo and has 3 legs. He's like a sweetheart. And his name is Bentley, but he pronounces it Bentley. And that's just, it's ridiculous that I would do that. And it's funny. And that idea for a joke came to me one day when I was saying his name. I was being all cute to him. I was talking in puppy voice. I was like, Bentley. And I was like, Bentley? That kind of sounds like the Scooby-Doo, like, Bentley? So that's where that idea came from. And it's short, it's sweet enough, and it's so silly that it normally gets either a laugh, or even if it doesn't get a laugh, it'll get people in the mood for silly. It kind of puts you in a silly tone. And another little short, sweet dog joke I have for starting that off is, like, you know, like, dogs are a part of all aspects of my life, right? Like, even, like, the other day I went to the courthouse. And this is true. When you walk into the courthouse in Wailuku, once you walk in the door, if you look immediately to your right, there's a sign on the wall of the courthouse that says, imitating a service animal is against the law. And once again, so that joke is funny because it's a very short joke. You know, it starts off with humor in the sense, like, I say something relatable first, right? Which is, like, I love dogs. Most people love dogs. People relate to that. And then I'm able to follow that up with, they're a part of all aspects of my life. And that gives me the ability to bring this joke to anywhere, which I bring it to the courthouse, because it's also a humorous thing where, like, oh, of course I'm going to the courthouse. Like, what? And it makes you, there's no, like, I don't tell you why I'm going. It's just, like, it's silly and it makes sense. You're like, this guy definitely goes to a courthouse. And then it is true, which people like hearing true stories, where if you go to this courthouse, it's an actual sign that my mom saw one time, and imitating a service animal is against the law, which, just the way it's worded, it's funny. Like, that's why it deserves a pause, where you're like, imitating a service animal, it's against the law. And then I'll pause, and I'll give, normally that part gets a laugh, and then I'll get a little laugh, and then that's why I go, row, which is kind of a follow-up that silliness I just created with the Bentley. And at this point, the audience is feeling silly. They're a little bit opened up. Maybe some of them have laughed at this point. Some are just like, okay, this is goofy. You know, this guy's a goofy guy, and he likes dogs, which is relatable. I like dogs. Goofy dog liker. Okay, I'm on board. And that's when I can start into the bit now that goes under the premise of Bentley not understanding errands, where I'm like, you know, like, it took a while for Bentley to warm up to me. Stay tuned for part 3. Part 3 is coming. That was for Struther. Shout out to Struther. Go watch his he has a YouTube channel, my nephew. I think it's called, like, what's it called? 1 minute reviews or something, where he reviews new movies in the theaters in 1 minute. So go give him a subscribe. And thanks for watching. Please also subscribe to me. I'm almost 100 subscribers away from 1,000 views, or 1,000 subscribers. I can't even talk, which is why you guys need to subscribe. I need healthcare, dude. I don't have healthcare. I need you guys to support me. All right, talk to you later. Love you. Bye.